The route is a rhythm, a metronome of footsteps on pavement, and the satisfying thud of letters hitting the bottom of a mailbox. For a mail carrier, routine is everything. It's a shield against the chaos of addresses, packages, and people. You learn the dogs that bark and the ones that bite. You memorize the squeak of Mrs. Gable's front gate and the faded welcome mat at the Miller house. These little details become the landmarks of your day, the anchors that keep the world feeling solid and predictable. Every house has a story, and you deliver the footnotes, one envelope at a time. Except for one, 1414 Ash Street. It's the ghost in my machine, the discordant note in the daily symphony. Every morning, without fail, there's a small stack of letters for that address. The other carriers joke about it, calling it the phantom route. I used to laugh along with them. The letters themselves are unnerving in their uniformity. They are always in plain white business envelopes with no return address. The postage is always correct, the stamp perfectly placed. They're addressed simply to the resident, a title that feels both anonymous and deeply personal, as if mocking my ignorance. The problem is, 1414 Ash Street doesn't exist. The numbers on the block jump from 1412 to 1416. In between, there is only an empty lot, choked with weeds and the ghost of a cracked concrete foundation. A single, rusted mailbox leans out of the dirt like a skeletal hand reaching for an offering. My job is to deliver the mail, not to ask why. So every day I walk across the patchy grass to that decrepit mailbox. I pull down the stiff, creaking door and slide the letters inside. The metallic clang echoes in the quiet air, feeling strangely final, like closing a coffin. The next day, driven by a curiosity I couldn't suppress, I checked the box before making my delivery. It was empty. The letters were gone. There were no footprints in the soft dirt around the post. No sign that anyone had been there at all. It was as if they had simply vanished. That's when I started to really look at the letters. Back in the truck, with the engine off and the world outside muted, I studied the penmanship. The elegant, looping cursive felt deeply familiar, tugging at a memory I couldn't quite place. It was neat, controlled, and strangely comforting to look at. Then a cold dread washed over me. I pulled out my route log, a clipboard where I make daily notes. I placed an envelope next to my own scrawled reminders about forwarding addresses and vacation holds. The slant, the pressure, the way the T was crossed. It was identical. It was my handwriting. I have no memory of writing them. I spent that night in a cold sweat, trying to recall a moment, a dream, anything that would explain it. How could I be writing and sending letters to a non-existent house and have no recollection of it? I felt like a stranger in my own body. The next morning, I tried talking to my supervisor, Miller. He's a veteran carrier, a man who's seen everything. When I mentioned 1414 Ash Street and the letters, his face became a blank wall. He told me, in a voice as cold as a winter morning, to just deliver the mail. His reaction was more terrifying than a denial would have been. It was an order to embrace the madness, to accept the impossible as part of the job. He knew, and he wasn't telling me. After that, I started to notice the glances from the other carriers. They knew too. A week later, a new letter appeared in the stack for 1414 Ash. It was different. The envelope was smaller, made of thick, cream-colored cardstock. It felt heavy, important. My hands trembled as I picked it up. It was addressed in my own perfect cursive to me. With shaking fingers, I opened it. Inside was a single heavy card. The message was simple, printed in the same elegant script. "You are cordially invited to your first day. Please bring this with you." An invitation to my own haunting, written by my own hand. My shift ended, but I didn't go home. My body moved on its own, my feet carrying me back through the twilight streets to Ash Street. The invitation felt warm in my pocket, a burning coal against my leg. The sun was setting, painting the sky in bruised shades of orange and purple. As I stood before the empty lot, the world felt thin, like a stretched piece of fabric. The air began to shimmer over the cracked foundation, like heat rising from asphalt. Slowly, impossibly, the ghostly outline of a two-story house flickered into view, its form wavering but solidifying with every passing second. It looked like any other house on the street, except it wasn't really there. A warm, yellow light bloomed in the windows, and the front door, which I could now see clearly, creaked open a few inches. Faint music, a tinny radio tune from decades ago, drifted out into the silent evening. I took a step onto the lawn, and the sounds of the street behind me, the distant traffic, the barking dogs, vanished. I turned back to see the road was gone, replaced by an endless, dark field under a starless sky. The front door of the house swung open fully, revealing a figure in a mail carrier's uniform, beckoning me in.